Greetings, my excellent friends. My name is Gavaroc Fevinor, and this is the final episode of the story of Hildibrand Manderville. For now, we stand with the terrifying mother of our hero Hildibrand, Julianne Manderville, whose powers are unknowable and seemingly unlimited. But alas, her son lies stricken, zombified, after taking an attack meant for someone else. It is only right and fair that we cure him of his condition. And right now we have done as much as we can towards that end. The rest is up to Hildibrand, as Julianne's healing concoction works its magic upon him. For the rest of us, we have a thief to catch, and also a Gilgamesh to keep an eye on. It's gonna be a busy, busy day. Her last vow, Julianne, will send you on your way. What are you doing dilly-dallying around here? Monologuing to your invisible audience, perhaps? Let me jog your memory. There's a moonsick maid digging around at the Sildy excavation site with her mind set on turning Ulda into the land of the walking dead. Your concern for Hildy is most touching, but don't ye worry. Mummy dearest isn't going to let her beloved son kick the bucket that easily. If he dies, I'll fucking head down to hell and haunt him! And bring him back? With prejudice? Well. Assured that Hildibrand is in the safest hands ever crafted, we shall head to Blackbrush Station, being the closest waypoint to our destination of the Sildy excavation site. As we wish the fledgling sprout adventurers good luck on their journeys, hoping that they too shall one day reach the heights of heroics, performed by myself and all those like me. Our palanquin of repurposed bombs shall guide us to the excavation site where Felice waits at our rendezvous. We've managed to track down Miss Ellie just ahead, where your friends watch over her as we speak. Yet no matter how many times we try to reach out to her, she refuses to so much as answer. Needless to say, we considered physically incapacitating her. But that crate she's sitting on isn't just a makeshift chair. It's filled to the brim with trader's spurn. One misstep and the consequences could be dire indeed. You are our only hope, Gavaroc. Even in her single-minded rage, surely the time you spent together must still count for something. You need not put yourself in undue danger. I only ask that you step forth to where your voice may be heard, and call out your friend's name. I beg of you, Gavaroc. Surely if anyone can convince the woman to abandon her madness, it is you. With the chat mode and say, use your keyboard to call out Ellie and convince your erstwhile friend and companion to listen to reason. Ah yes, always awkward, never necessary mechanic of this particular universe. That of calling out. Ah, friends. To think this girl and her sister were behind the crimes all along. I dare say this realm is awash with capable adversaries. Not you. Miss Ellie? And I thought we were friends. You do well not to anger the lass, friend. She's sitting atop an ample supply of that zombie powder, and I suspect she's not afraid to use it. It beggars belief that I could have been so blind. And indeed, there she is. We can walk right up to her, and she will not acknowledge us. We have to do as we were bidden. Stand here and shout for her. Ellie! Ellie! Why must you make me Ellie? You're putting me through hell-y! completely original joke that I did not steal from The Simpsons. Oh no, not me, I'd never do that. Every thought that has ever entered this brain has been completely original. Gavaroc, I suggest you leave this place while you still can. I bear you no grudge, but should you so much as think of interfering, I will not hesitate to turn you into a zombie too. So it was you after all. Consider me disappointed. Or, as Hercules once put it, disappointed! No, I think I'll stick to the reserved, gentlemanly vibe. Random outbursts of gravelly screams don't particularly suit me. Plus, Kevin Sorbo is a wanker. Your sister Ceci is already in custody. Surrender now, and I will see that no harm befalls her. She has left her box of zombie poison. How little you understand us, Inspector. Then again, how could one born into a life of power and privilege ever hope to understand? Ceci and I have no family. No friends, no fortune, nothing. Two sisters against the world, with only our quest for justice to give us meaning. Long ago we made a vow. Should the worst happen, our mission takes priority over all. Yes, over our own wretched lives. Do you see now? Anything I might have once had to lose, I lost long ago. Now stand down or suffer the same fate as the Uldan dogs you would defend. Ellie, stop this madness! I'm sorry, Inspector. Oh, this is good. This is excellent. Wonderful. Van Dabby Doo Da. There's too many of them. All in a day's work for a Manderville man. And now, it's hammer time! My. I would assist you, but I can't actually fight in cutscenes. It's got to be a solo duty or a group duty, but there's a certain set of rules that I have to follow as an Eorzean adventurer. Basically, it's kind of like a metaphorical green flag waving. If I'm not allowed, then I'm not allowed. You can only delay the inevitable. I have an entire legion of the undead at my beck and call. Face it, it's only with Inspector Hildibrand's ridiculously good fortune that you even made it this far. And he's as good as 6 films under. Be forewarned, girl. Know that I speak from experience when I say, underestimate Hildy, and you do so at your own peril. I'm afraid you underestimate me as well. No mere splash of holy water can stave off the effects of a traitor's sperm. I fear the good inspector's luck has finally run out. Ah yes, Ellie did not happen to meet Julianne Manderville. Fowls balls, is there no end to them? I'm not liking our chances. Greg, was it? It's a shame to lose you, Gavaroc. Warrior of light that you are, you might yet have served one last purpose for us. Go forth, my zombie minions! Oh, that's a bit melodramatic, Ellie. Minions? Zombie minions? Why are you all... Well, that was melodramatic. When darkness falls, and hope fades to despair, 4 warriors born of light shall descend in the righteous glare. Bugger me with a broadsword, are my eyes to be believed? That pose. No, these are not 4 warriors of light that I see. They are 4 gentlemen of light. And what do you know?
Just so, my good man. Hildibrand, Agent of Enquiry, Inspector Extraordinaire, has made his triumphant return! Did you miss me?
Aye, we meet again, girl. Tell me you got my snurble tonic, or I'll fashion myself a wig from your lovely locks after I've ripped them clean from your bloody head.
Oh, hello there, Mr. Eleazar. Coy, you're looking absolutely resplendent today. Impossible that the holy water couldn't have cured him.
It didn't. Fortunately, our overlord spent quite some time building up an immunity to zombie powder. When we heard that Master Zombie Brand was at risk of joining the actual dead, we knew we had to take action.
An immunity to... Oh. I'm just going to pretend that that makes any kind of sense. A wise move, Inspector.
The game is up, Miss Ellie. Pray abandon this madness. Besides, plots of mass murder hardly suit a lady like yourself.
Well, that's one way to give in. It's over. It's all over. Inspector Briardian, you said there was something you would tell me when all this was through. I imagine you have no words for me now. Ellie, your powers of deduction are wanting. You said that you had lost everything and everyone you had to lose. Did you not? As for me, I have found something. Someone with whom I never intend to part. I care not if it takes years, even decades. When you emerge from your jail cell a free woman, I will be there. What say you? Personally, I think he's a buffoon. I'm sure she was nice enough before she was revealed to be a maniacal zombie spreader, but I would consider that revelation to be somewhat of a deal breaker myself. Nonetheless.
Miss Ellie, while the crimes perpetrated by you and your sister are unpardonable, you are far from the only ones guilty. On behalf of the Syndicate, I offer my apologies for the false aspersions cast upon your ancestors. You said that the nation of Uldar was built on lies. Seeing what I have seen today, I cannot deny your words. It will not be an easy task to rewrite, nay, restore history. But know this, I will do everything in my power to bring the truth to the fore.
A responsible man, Godbert. Enough to make a warrior of light almost tear up.
Ahem! Are we not forgetting someone here? And by someone, I mean me.
No, I was quite happy not thinking about you, actually.
If you're done playing cloak and dagger, I require Gavaroc's presence for a matter of far greater importance. The time of our too long delayed confrontation is nigh.
Rain check.
Why the long face, friend? But mayhap this will have you singing a happier tune.
A sword. I prefer rapiers, actually. Could it be? The treaty blade! And the true one at that! Oh, that's important, actually. Yes, cool, good. Excellently uncovered. Hand it over.
None other. And I have not the slightest intention of parting with it. Save to the one who would defeat me in single combat. But I misspeak. It will not be single combat this time.
Is that my cue, old friend? The chicken appears to have had a growth spurt. Thou be merciful! What is that abomination? Some new breed of void scent?
Abomination? I'll thank you to address my companion with courtesy, girl. But 'twas the most curious thing. There I was, hauling a crate full of crystals for Hildy's mother, and thinking how much better things would be if my dear friend Enkidu were here. Then came a flash from the heavens, and the next thing I knew, there she was.
By the gods! It makes perfect sense. Doubtless the crystals heard Greg's heartfelt plea, summoning forth his friend. Nay, no mere friend, but rather the primal Enkidu.
And the world has now completely and utterly ceased to be bound by the laws of logic. Actually, Briardien, this one I do have some experience with. Generally speaking, though, the primals are summoned by more than one individual, so either Greg has a force of will the likes of which could shatter planets, or we're bending the rules a little for the sake of a climactic encounter. Although, I suppose, there was one other instance of one person performing this. Two, maybe. But let's not obliquely reference other events, shall we? Let's focus on the story at hand.
Gavaroc, you may have bested me in the past, but facing the two of us together will not prove so easy a task. And yet I trust you will not shirk from the challenge. Enkidu and I shall await you at Amdapur Keep.
I imagine it would be no more challenging than providing your voice, you gravelly son of a bitch. And yet there is still more.
'Tis a ways from here, but what better venue for our climactic confrontation? If you would claim the treaty blade, then claim it from me as a warrior. To the skies, Enkidu! To the skies!
Two against one? That's not very gentlemanly of you, Greg! Come, Gavaroc, to Amdapur!
Godbert, do you want to handle this?
This is a grave development indeed. To think that one man could summon a primal on his own. I must send word to the Scions at once. You know. Oh, but of course, I'd nearly forgotten we had a warrior of light on our very midst. Please, Gavaroc, you are our only hope to slay the primal and reclaim the blade.
Great. More bloody work. Oh, why don't you two do it? You're better than me.
All's well that ends well, eh, Gavaroc? Hildy's undead acquaintances were kind enough to make an appearance at my request. Who'd have thought zombies could be such gentlemen? I reckon it must be my son's good influence.
Ha! I knew that if anything could bring Hildy back from the undead, it would be my dear wife's hand-mixed holy water. That's the world-class culinarian I married. And who terrifies me every day.
Look at the Inspector go. I'm right behind you, Inspector. Eventually.
The Gentlemen of Light. Core, they were every bit as radiant as I pegged them to be. One day, I'll be a hero myself. Just you watch.
Press X to doubt.
After 400 years, this might very well spell the end for the Arbiters of Truth. Whether or not to replace the Fallen is a decision for my superiors to make. In either event, I have decided to renounce my position. I thought they were but white lies, but I have seen firsthand the suffering they can cause.
And our diabolical duo.
Ellie, forgive me. I'm sorry for deceiving you, Gavaroc.
For what it's worth, it wasn't personal. And with that, my work here is done. You were by far the least incompetent associate I encountered in my travels. For preserving some shred of my sanity, you have my thanks. That said, my time in this land was not a total loss. My experiences here have taught me an important lesson. That this world, the fools who populate it, rarely, if ever, abide by the principles of logic. This should serve me well in my future cases. And most importantly of all, I leave here with a vow that has given my life new meaning. Well, this is no time for sentiment. Indeed not. I wish you luck in your future endeavours, Mr. Edgeworth. Sorry, Inspector Briardien. And that appears to be the lot. Unless I am remiss and have forgotten someone. On my head that mistake shall rest, if indeed I have made it, as we travel all the way into the Black Shroud to Amdapor Keep, Greg's designated locale for our climactic final battle. What better conveyance to take me to the site of the last great fight than a four-seater flying Gothmobile? Or the Regalia. And as usual, Hildibrand is not going to be joining us for the action, but nonetheless, we appreciate his enthusiasm and the fact that he tried.
Ahem. Is that you, Gavaroc? Pray forgive me. I was right on Greg's trail when I encountered a subterranean curiosity that demanded my immediate attention. I will be concluding my investigation forthwith, but in the meantime, might I trouble you to entertain Greg and his primal friend in my stead? Together we will reclaim the treaty blade from that knave, Gavaroc. Yes, just go on ahead. I'll be along directly.
Once again a fight looms before us, and we must summon up 7 entire imaginary friends. As always, we will attempt to sign up for this as in our comfortable home role of the Red Mage. Though, as previous attempts have shown us, this is unlikely to work. At least not in a timely fashion. Battle in the Big Keep. How many realms has he traversed, and how many rivals has he felled? Gilgamesh journeys ever onward in his unending quest for the strongest of weapons. But the road is long and lonesome, and a painted rooster, loyal and noble as the bird may be, can bring a man only so much comfort in the darkest and most trying of times. So it was that Gilgamesh turned to the heavens, pleading to be reunited with a long-lost companion. Be it by fortune or fate, his prayers were heard, and the stage for the final confrontation is set. To the victor goes the treaty blade. 13 minutes. But do I trust that? If one were to resign themselves to healing, would we get a faster fight? Quite possibly. But we shall see. To spare you the agony of waiting, I will see you when the battle begins. And huzzah! Lo! But a battle loomed before me. After a wait not quite so awful as the previous one. But sadly I would be forced once more to don healer's robes, loath though I am to operate with them. The battle in the Big Peep begins.
At long last, we meet again on the battlefield. I dare say Enkidu shall come to enjoy our tussles as much as I. You, however, might not find this one so enjoyable, unless you enjoy getting pounded senseless. Ha!
I do not, as a rule, enjoy getting pounded senseless. However, I do not necessarily agree that is what will happen. Tanks will be getting pounded senseless, and I will be flailing at them in a hopefully helpful manner that prevents them from getting dead. With luck. Now, if only I could remember how to perform this combat role. Perhaps one day, far future. Gilgamesh is talking, never mind.
To my side, Enkidu! The battle is joined! Ow! It hurts! It hurts! Enkidu! Your master wants for succor!
Yes, Enkidu, your master is a sucker. So far, so alive. Ah! Why do I speak? Why do I speak? Also, a not small chunk of the party is currently chicken. I do not remember why or how that... Oh no, it's me. Ow. Health low. Abilities unavailable. Rear end clenched. Freedom and form. Okay. Oh God! 12. I'm Eorzean. I'm from Eorzea. We talk about the 12. There is no one God. Not that there really was one to begin with.
Enkidu! Are the bonds of our friendship so fragile?
Ah, the bird appears to have buggered off. Fan-wanking-tastic. Hello.
Me? Run away? Ha! I was but seeking out a really quick line of text. But enough exposition! Now we fight like men! And ladies who dress like men!
What about all the men who dress like ladies? And the NB folks?
For Gilgamesh, it is transmogrifying time!
And the NB folks who dress a multitude of fantastic and visually stunning ways.
The mightiest warrior ever to grace Eorzea stands before you. By which I mean I, Gilgamesh! Prepare yourself!
Consider myself prepared.
You'll get no quarter from me this time. Have at thee!
I wouldn't say I'm after a quarter. I'd rather that sword you've got.
You have some skill, I'll give you that. But Gilgamesh has only just begun to fight.
76%? I don't know. I'd say you're about a quarter done. But nonetheless. It won't take long for us to stomp upon this pompous, many-armed, bird-companioned blowhard. After which, we shall return to the story.
Most impressive. Very well. I, too, shall fight with all my strength.
No, there's no need for that. Ah, dragon's head. It is to my immense relief that the rest of the dragon is not also here. As I occasionally glance towards the health bars of my companions, remembering that technically my job is to help them with that. I would remind those viewing experts of the video game that I am an entertainer, not a fighter. Oh dear. Well, if you don't help me now, you will never help me again. I can still hear you saying you should probably break this chain. Thank you. Damn your love and damn your eyes, Gilgamesh.
No! The mighty Gilgamesh will not be defeated.
Oh, you tank need some assistance. Have some help. Oh no. If you could just cease with the checkerboarding. Oh no. Can we just make like a little spot, a little circle in which I could stand that would like never be dangerous? That would make my job a lot easier. Had to ask. Ah! Ah! He's nearly dead. Why am I the chain man? What have I done? What have I done that warrants being locked up? Well, thank you. Except for the legendary friends. The dragon heads a return, but the boss himself is so close to dead. There we go. How does it feel?
To think that my full complement of arms would avail me not.
Yes, well, it was a 1v8.
No more hijinks from Gilgamesh. You have my word. The treaty blade, too, I shall return. Just as soon as I remember where I hid it. Anyway, I yield to your unparalleled prescience. Spare my insignificant life, I beg of you.
We shall not kill you this day. You have caught us on a merciful evening. Always polite to commend. I do not believe I need a chicken. I already have one. Now it is time for the grand finale. Sadly, I am in the wrong outfit. I should hopefully be able to change before the final scenes.
Not? Ha! I lied! Again! Like a rug! Oh, I kill me! You can take that fusty old blade for all I care. I thirst for true power, and naught save the strongest of swords will suffice. Warrior of light, you have proven a worthy opponent, but I warn you, treasure every moment with your weapon. For sure as day follows night, the hour will come when I claim it as mine own. Till we meet again.
A quick moment to change. Much better. Hildibrand, you missed everything.
What ho, Gavaroc? Have you seen Greg and his oversized avian companion? Lead me to them at once, and we shall deliver the coup de grace together. The battle has already been won? Oh, that is triumphant news indeed. Clearly, the lessons you have learned from me have not been for naught. And what's this, you say? The treaty blade lies hidden somewhere in the nearby wood? Worry not, my ever-loyal associate, for no buried treasure will escape the keen eye of Hildibrand, agent of inquiry and inspector extraordinaire. Now, which way was the forest again? I believe it is to your left, right, back, or forward. Pick one. Ah, the gang.
Gavaroc, what news of the Primal and the Treaty Blade?
Why are you carrying the criminals everywhere you go? Should you not be putting them in a cage somewhere?
Remarkable. I knew the Warrior of Light would emerge triumphant. Let us hope that Inspector Hildibrand enjoys similar success in finding the blade.
Such design, such craftsmanship, at once bold and powerful, yet sensitive and refined. I believe I found the inspiration for my next masterpiece.
Of course they're beautiful. They were the greatest treasures of lost Sildi. To think that they were locked away in the vaults of those that destroyed our homeland and dragged our ancestors' names through the mud. And just how did you come to know of these long-lost relics?
There was an ancient scroll passed down in our family, left to us by our dear grandmother. It spoke of the 4 Warriors of Light, their 4 relics, and an incantation of untold power. If we could have wielded this magic of legend, Ellie and I might still have had the last laugh. Alas, speaking the words had no effect.
Only a Warrior of Light can wield the power, or so the legend goes.
Oh, what I wouldn't have given to see it. The ultimate achievement of the greatest mages this realm has ever known.
And just what sort of incantation is this?
The ring casts open the doors of justice. The wise man whispers a verdict true. Azema's virtue shines down from the heavens. To complete the incantation, the Warrior of Light would then hold forth the treaty blade and speak, "Blade in hand, I swear unto you." The legends differ as to what happens next, but all speak of a great holy radiance shining down from the heavens.
Over here, friends! Hildibrand, agent of inquiry, inspector extraordinaire, returns with tidings most triumphant. A big sword. Behold! Safe in my hands, none other than the treaty blade, and the real one this time, I swear unto you.
Yes, just like that. I swear unto you, then...
My word, whatever is this odd tingling sensation?
Ridiculous! Hildibrand isn't a Warrior of Light, he's just some fool who thought he could stop the Lesser Moon with his own bare hands!
And yet, it would seem the treaty blade is just as confused as the rest of us.
No. The light! Someone stop it! I won't stand to see the legendary power of our forefathers wielded by this muscle-bound buffoon!
Alas.
Fate is fickle, and we must all accept our roles in the great game. Hi! Skyward ho!
Well, I dare say that proved to be a most useful incantation indeed.
And so the light of justice that shone from the treaty blade banished the shadow, returning peace to the land. So the legend ended. I must say, I never expected it to quite literally be a beam of light. I suppose it wouldn't have been much use to us after all.
Inspector! Oh, Inspector, wait for me! The hell's balls, Hildy? First you almost die at your poor mother's feet, and now you fly off to God knows where without even giving her a kiss goodbye!
It appears that a case of wanderlust has once again struck Hildibrand, as it has many a Manderville man before him. Godspeed, my boy! When the day comes that you tire of mystery solving, your dear old man will be here to pass on to you the family art.
So in the end, the Sildian incantation of legend was wielded not by a warrior of light, but a gentleman of light. Well, the treaty blade is some 6 centuries old after all. Perhaps it's not quite as sharp as it used to be. The magic that brought peace and happiness to the people of Balladia. It was every bit as beautiful as I imagined. I think I would see it with my own eyes. It's nothing short of a dream come true.
He bumbles and stumbles through yet another case, yet still he manages to make a girl's dream come true. A gentleman to the end. The bloody bastard. Somewhere off in the distance, high in the sky.
What's this? A glint to the corner of my eye. A curious scent wafting in on the winds from a far-flung land. Do I smell a case? Worry not for me, my friends, for wherever the wronged want for succour, I, Hildibrand, shall be there, till we meet again!
And that's the end of that. Our story concluded. Our hero rocketing off into the distance. Oh, but of course, we gotta go out in style. And by style, we mean by dancing. Hildibrand will return. And perhaps he shall. For there are more Hildibrand adventures in Eorzea. And it is not entirely out of the question that we may one day explore them as well. But for now, the tale is ended. And I, Gavaroc Fevinor, along with my ever-loyal Gaelic kitten, must bid you all farewell. It was a curious story. A nice break from the usual high stakes and earth-shattering battles that are laid before me in my life. There were still a couple of battles, but they really weren't all that, come to think. It was nice for once. Simply be along for the ride, instead of the center of everyone's attention. Where has Hildibrand gone? Well, who can say? Actually, anybody who's played the second chapter of the Hildibrand story can definitely say, but for the purposes of this little show that we're putting on, who can say? Perhaps we will find out together. the future. Fare thee well.